what's going on? It's your girl Autumn Bree and
hi.
And we're here to answer a few questions for you guys all about us and our photography experience. Question number 1. Why did you get into newborn photography?
I got into newborn photography, so I have 2 kids, and with my daughter I used to always bring her to get her photos done. And to be honest, I really did not like going to other people's house and seeing the exact same photo that she got taken, and I found that I wasn't getting variety with what I was getting from her, and I just said at one point, I can probably do this myself and do it better. And I just,
here you are,
did it my thing. And that's it. That's how it started.
And I got into it accidentally, y'all. I did not mean to be a photographer. I was happy living my CYW broke life. I was good and I was doing my thing. And then my friend, actually, I started doing photography first because of my acting program that I was doing for kids. Got a camera, word started spreading. I started doing family sessions. Then a friend of mine asked me to do pictures for her newborn because her photographer wasn't feeling well. So I did his photos. I didn't have anything but a Target bucket and a little hat and a little wrap I got from Value Village and Wash.
And you made it work.
And I made it work. And the photos were bomb.com. She had, referred me. And then I was like, okay, I guess if I put some, time and money into this, I could really do it. And here I am.
She did it.
Here I is. Question number 2. What's your favorite pose to do and why?
My favorite pose, you guys should all know this by now if you follow me, expressions. That's it. It's priceless, it's timeless, and those photos will never expire.
Boom. Boom. Expressions are good too for all ages. That's what's dope about them. You could do them with your grandma, your great granny, your great granddaddy, all of them. All right, my favorite pose. What is my favorite pose? My favorite pose is anything on the dog bed because they're wrapped, it's simple, it's aerial view, and even if they're fussy babies, they will sleep and they will do what you need them to do. So that is mine. Question number 3. What's the biggest mistake you've made in your business?
My biggest mistake that I made in my business, and I made the mistake twice. So clearly I didn't learn the first time.
Is it a mistake if you've done it twice, or is it intentional?
Let's blame it on the system. It wasn't my fault. But what happened was I had 2 clients that were supposed to get 8x8 albums, and I ordered 6x6 albums. I don't even sell 6x6 albums. It got ordered.
Jeez, that's bad. She ordered something she don't even sell. Okay, my biggest mistake was a client paid me not via credit card, because when you pay via credit card, it automatically updates to the invoice. It automatically comes through. She paid e-transfer. I forgot to reflect her payment onto my invoice system. And then when she picked up her product, I told her she owed a balance again. And she thought she did. And she paid again. So she paid me twice for the same product. And then I realized the mistake. She didn't even realize it. And I ended up having to send the money back in shame.
Honesty though.
Honesty. Best policy. I could have kept that money easy. I could have kept it. I was struggling them times too. Question number 4. What's the one pose you still have trouble executing in your workflow?
So my one pose, I call it the hammock pose. I've done it once. The first time I did it, it was amazing. Ask me if I've been able to do it again though. Okay. Ask me, because you'll still be waiting for the answer.
She can't do it. And mine's the taco pose.
I can't even do that.
Let me demonstrate it for them. You guys, so the baby's feet are like this.
And then you're bent over.
And then, hold on. I can't even get all the way over.
That's the bootleg version.
And then you're like this, and the baby has to lay on their feet like this. Mm-hmm. I cannot get them in that pose. I cannot. I think I've done it twice in my entire 12-year career, and I can't do it. It's hard. And people that teach newborn workflow in the States and stuff, yo, they do it so easy.
They just flip, baby this. It's like,
Or I hate when I'm telling somebody, I'm like, I hate that pose. They're like, that's my favorite one. I'm like, what? I can't even do it if I even tried. Like, if someone said, here's $1 million if you can get that baby in that pose, I would lose the $1 million.
Just don't even bother.
I'm not even, I would owe them $1 million because that's how bad it is.
Question number 5. What is the number one reason people want to do in-person sales, and what's the number one reason that they don't?
The one reason that I find that my students, particularly, want to make the jump into IPS is, one, they are looking to have more time with their families and less time at work. So they want to essentially be more profitable, which you can be with the in-person sales approach. And then they also want to level up their client experience. They feel like they're not being really fulfilled with the, very indirect way of dealing with their clients, just email, sending galleries, and that's it. They never see them again. They definitely want to have that experience of, sitting down with their client, going through their options, leveling up their experience during the session, and then delivering high quality product. The number one reason that people have a hard time transitioning or taking the leap to do in-person sales is because they are so scared that nobody will book them with their higher rates, and they're scared that all of their clients are going to leave them. I always tell people...
Been there, done that.
Me too. I always tell people you're going to lose at least 75% of your clients, and that's because the current client group you're in is not your desired group. That's not who you want to market to. They're in a market that's below what you're trying to get to. So you have to just be willing to hear a lot of no's and go through the process of kind of weeding out the people that are not for you.
Trust the process.
Amen. Hallelujah.
Question number 6. What is the number one mistake you used to do when rapping? What is something you do now to make it more successful?
So my number one mistake when I used to rap babies is I would basically rap, unwrap, wrap, unwrap. So what I mean is, let's just say I was doing a green setup and then I was gonna go do a white setup. I have the baby wrapped in green, and then once I'm done that, I'm unwrapping baby, getting baby naked again, and then rewrapping them in white, which is a big no-no because now I'm disrupting the baby, moving the baby around, and more than likely they're awake and I may not even get the next pose I'm trying to transition into next. What I do now is I start with a base wrap. So the base wrap is a big lifesaver, especially if I know what my next poses are gonna be. So if I'm doing 4 poses next that all require wrapping, I have a base, well, really 2 wraps on baby that don't come off. So I'm only really changing the outer layer, and that allows me to change to a different wrapping design, to change the wrap entirely without disrupting the baby because they're still wrapped. And not only does that help me with wrapping, it helps me with the timing, it helps me with the easier transitions, and it's a quick and easy way to add variety into the gallery.
And cold babies are not fun. When they get unwrapped and they're sleeping, and they're gonna go
that stretch,
bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the first thing they do.
Yep.
And then you're just like, oh man, I gotta redo this now.
All over again.
Question number 7. What was your first experience of your first newborn workshop that you attended?
So my experience with my first newborn workshop, to be honest, I loved it. Now, I did learn a lot in the workshop, but there are certain things that I found very, very helpful with my career. So as much as, let's just say, I walked away with 20 new skills, 3 of those 20 skills really, really helped me bring my work to another level, bring my business to another level. And it was cool being around other photographers of different, with different experiences. Some have been doing it for 10 years, some have been doing it for 2 years, and everybody has their own way of doing things. And you also learn that at the workshop because someone could be like, oh, you do it that way, I used to do it this way. And the way that Autumn might be saying, I used to do it, maybe like, oh, let me try it this way. So not only was I learning from my teacher, I was also learning from the other participants in the class.
It's really good. It's a really good dynamic. It's a really good learning experience. My first workshop, I remember being super anxious. I was a little bit anxious and like nervous because I have never done it before. You're always nervous doing something you've never done, but I kind of was more on the side of anxiety of excitement. Very excited to like know all I could about you know, posing and making my workflow easier, and I was just excited to use all of the photographer that but also the photographer's props. She had all these beautiful props that I didn't have, and I was excited to use them. And also like she taught us a lot about kind of like little tips and tricks for running our business better, a little bit. Like we're going more in depth in our workshop, but she kind of still pointed to like, you know, making sure you have contracts in place and making sure you have these type of things that I would not necessarily think of.
Yeah.
So yeah, overall it was a great experience, and those skills that she taught me, and that was what, like 6 years ago,
You used to this date.
to this day, like they still sit with me. So it's definitely an investment, but it's something that is going to stick with you forever.
And even if you are an experienced photographer, let's say, and you come into us, it's not necessarily that you're gonna come and you're gonna learn something where you're like, oh, I learned this and I learned this and I learned this and I learned this. Because honestly, you can come away with just 2 things and then you're like, yes, it was a great experience, but these 2 specific things that I learned, it's gonna change everything for me.
Yeah.
So you really have to be open-minded too when going into these workshops.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking to learn, to improve your skills, to get better, Autumn, Kai, hit us up.
Holla for a dollar.
Just hit us up.
Telling you.
Come learn. It's gonna be fun.
You don't see this energy, this chemistry?
She's a little bit more crazy than me, but I promise you, it'll be fun. It'll be educational. You're gonna walk away with a lot of knowledge.
Absolutely.
You won't miss out.
I might not have my head tie on that day too, so if I don't, it's gonna be a party.
And I will.
We out.
Later.
We should probably open up.
Oh. I'm like, what the f- are you talking about?
Open up.
I'm like, let's be specific.
Open up.
Question number 1.
This is already gonna be a problem.
Question number 1.
I could have kept that money easy. I could have kept it. I was struggling them times too. But I knew it would reflect badly when she looked at her statement. It was like, wait.
2 times?
We paid twice? And we're not cheap. So paying us twice? Some people can't even pay us once. We're fools. Alright, so... Alright. I'm dead right now. I'm dying because we were talking about earlier. Oh my gosh, that's so bad. That's gonna be funny.
Oh, you're gonna die watching this back.
No.
Yo, I'm crying.
Yeah, I did that though. That's not bad.
Oh.
$1,000 twice.
And I know it won you to give it back to her. I know it won you deep in your soul.
I was so sad. I'm like, I was like going through my morals and like my hardship, like going back and forth.
You're looking at the bills and you're looking at the money and you're saying, Lord,
I'm like, do I give
are
the
you
money?
providing or are you testing me? Which one is it, Lord?
I was like, oh man, maybe, and I was like, maybe it was a tip. Maybe she didn't know it was a tip. I'm trying to justify it.
$2,000 tip.
Can you imagine? Oh man.
So to get my rapping success.
Okay, so we gotta figure out a way to end it. So that's a wrap, yo.
She crazy. She crazy.
I'm just joking. I wasn't,
She crazy.
That wasn't for real.